There's not really a good way to edit this, I'm guessing. Yep, you're only going to see this half of my body. That's her half. This is a terrible intro. Whatever. Weather is the newest album released by Tycho. Yes, another electric-oriented album to review. After having listened to Catching Flies, I wasn't sure if I was going to get another one of these, but this one also caught my eye and I decided I want to give it a listen, and now I am providing a review for it. So, yeah, simple explanation, I suppose. If you're looking for something different, it's not a very long album. It's something that's not going to consume a lot of your time. This is 8 tracks. He has another vocalist on this album called Saint Sinner in 5 of the 8 tracks on here. It brings us some interesting music here. The one thing that I feel like is drawing me to try and recommend or not recommend parts of the album is the inclusion of Saint Sinner. A lot of times when I talk about an electric album, I want to see if I'm interested to see if they're going to include their own vocals or if they're going to get a featured artist to add vocals on. And a lot of the times, they sometimes only include a couple vocals in the albums. And I kind of like a mixed bag in that sense. And then there's sometimes where there are vocals for the entirety or no vocals at all. In this case, we get a majority vocals. And I'm not always sold on the vocals. There's nothing wrong that I find particularly with the lyrics themselves. It just feels like sometimes we're kind of getting the same spoonful over and over again. And I feel like that's only kind of brought over in somewhat of a negative light because we know Saint Sinner is the featured artist and not the main artist on this album. So I guess I'm just seeing if I want to get, a little bit of mix. Having said that, the album as a whole is pretty dang good. I like the production. I like a majority of the creative risks that are taken in here. There are a couple of songs where the lyrics and the vocals do enhance the song, and Saint Sinner does pull it off. And those are the ones I would keep. There are moments that Saint Sinner has, but in other times it's kind of just like, I don't know if it's a vocalist or if we just needed a lack of a vocalist instead of a different one. The album gets kicked off with the song Easy. Starts off with great instrumentals right there. Has a couple of Saint Sinner songs, and then it dips into another song called Into the Woods. This one kind of makes me imagine that I'm lost in a city, and everything else is kind of a blur in a way. And yet somehow there's some sort of confident feeling you know what your destination is moving forward. The song I feel is the strongest that Saint Sinner is in is called Skate. Vocals are just complemented ultra well with good guitar that is just clear, and the amp effects are actually pretty good as well that are added onto it. This isn't going to be one that's going to jump out at a lot of people. It's one that I felt like I thought I would give it the light of day to be able to recommend it, to be able to review it and see if it's something that might be somewhat of a hidden gem. And overall, there are things that I can take from it that I like and some things that I don't. And I don't know a lot about Tycho or Saint Sinner. If you are fans of the artist, please let me know what you think of this album and other works, together or separate. But I had a good time listening to it, and that's why I decided, to heck with it, I'm going to put in the effort for this review. So, after having listened and reviewed this album, with production of 97%, creativity 81%, expression and lyrics 88%, I'm going to give this album a good. There is a part of me that thinks this album could have gotten a yeah, but there's not enough oomph internally that says that this is a much stronger recommendation. This album is completely fine. It's probably better than I'm giving some of the credit for, and I think some people will like this a lot more than I will. All the same, I hope you enjoyed the clips. I hope that I was able to provide some context of what this album is kind of like. Maybe it's something that will spark an interest, grind your gears a little bit. I don't know. But it was worth my time, and I think it's worth your time to see if there are any songs on here that you would like to add to your playlist. So there you go. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to subscribe and follow all the social media for this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.